Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on your favorite Little Slaw YouTube channel. So today in this video, we are going to see how to connect the MongoDB with JMeter, and we're going to see how to connect the database, and then how are we going to read some data from the MongoDB through JMeter. And this involves a lot of tasks to do. So here are the tasks that we're going to discuss today. So the first of it is to install the MongoDB in Docker. So I'm going to instead of installing in my machine, I'm going to use it through Docker, so that because most of the organizations now have moved towards Docker, and by watching this and by practicing this, you will understand how well to install the MongoDB and how well the industry really works. So this is again a kind of a real-time scenario, I would say. uh, and moving on to the second part is installing the MongoDB composer. So that is something which we use to connect the MongoDB, the database where we can create the database, we can connect, we can create the data, we can create the connections and all the database setup. And then the third part is okay, like I told you, creating a database in MongoDB and adding data to the MongoDB. So that involves few automation, which I will again tell you, take you through this video. And then the important part is downloading the jar files for the MongoDB connectivity, and I will in fact I'll upload those jar files for you so that you can use them for your practice, and they're very much needed again, I would say. And then the sixth step is to connect the JMeter with MongoDB through the JSR223 sampler. And then the seventh step is to read the data. And then the eighth step is to view the results. And finally, the ninth step is to upload the file in GitHub. So I'll upload it. So in case if you want, you can go and watch the file. In fact, after I upload it, I will take you through the steps on how to do it and what to use and how to use it. And then the last step, the 10th step, is a suspense for now. So just watch till the entire video and then you will understand what to do and how to do. And yeah, before we move on to this video, this is me, Vasan Shanmugam. I welcome you all to our Little Star YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and consider joining my channel for getting quality content like this. And you can join my WhatsApp channel in case if you have any queries, you can ask me. And in fact, we have like other 360 to 70, 370 performance engineers and testers who have with very big, very great knowledge on performance testing and engineering. So they also can very well help you in case if I could not help you on that moment. So please do join my channel. Join my channel as a member and join the WhatsApp channel. And with no further delay, let's go to the video. So the first part is installing the MongoDB. So the reason I have put here all these steps is like in case if you want to skip to any of the parts, so you can just skip it. I'll just add these timers as well so that you can just skip. You do not want to watch the entire video. You can just skip to whatever part you want to move. So the first part is installing the MongoDB in Docker. So how did I do? So the first step is let me open my command prompt here. Yep. So here, this is the first step, which is let me take you to the first part. So the first thing is Docker pull Mongo. So let me paste it in the file here. So the first step of it is Docker pull Mongo. So this is the step one. So once so yeah, just make sure. So you have to keep your Docker running. So only then you'll be able to run this command. Otherwise, you'll get a error command telling that the Docker is not working. So once you run this command, you will get something like this. You'll get these images. You'll get these containers, the Mongo latest, the community server, everything. So once, just make sure you get this downloaded in your containers part, and also make sure they are running and created. So that's the first step. And then let me go back again to the command prompt. Yeah, so once you did that, and then type docker ps, so this will tell you what is the docker, I mean like what are the docker that's running in your machine. So let me even, I can just run it for you. So yeah, just a second. Yep, so this is the part. So docker ps is what will tell you the command of what to do. So let me again enter that as well. So step 2 is docker ps. So yeah, just a quick update on this. So docker ps is a command in Docker which is used to list the running container. So once you run the docker ps, here you can see the list. It lists the running containers and it shows the information about the active containers on your Docker. So by default, docker ps displays a summary with the following details like the container ID. So that's the first thing, the container ID. So if you see, you can see the very first few digits of it. And then the image. So we have the Mongo latest, and then we have the command, which is the command the container is executing, and then the created. So it's created 57 seconds ago. Not now, but it's like when I was running it, it was like 57 seconds ago, and then the status of it. So after 55 seconds, the current status of the container, and you have the port. So here we have the ports, which is 2017 27017 slash TCP. So that's the port mapping between the host and the container. And then finally, we have the name of the container. So this is what the Docker PS does. And then the next part is Docker container ls. So what does Docker container ls do? So let me paste this here. Step 3 is Docker container. So all these steps you have to follow to keep it up and running, and also you can very well find where is the issue. So that's the reason I'm just taking you through all these steps. So Docker container ls is used to list the containers in the Docker, and it's a functionality equivalent to Docker PS, but it provides information about the running containers on your Docker host. And yeah, so I think with that, the next step is this one, Docker run. Let me copy this one here. And yeah, so this is step 4. So just make sure you follow all these steps and all these commands. So what does this Docker run minus minus name mongodb minus p, and then the port number 27017 colon 27017 minus d mongodb slash mongodb community server dash. So this command is used to create and start a new container from the image. So previously we have just pulled the image, right? We just pull the image. We have not created, or we have not created anything else. We just pull the image like it's mentioned here. And then this part, I mean, like this command is used to create, and then it used to start the new container from the image. So from this image we created, it will start the container. And then the option, which is minus minus name mongodb. So this option assigns the name mongodb to the container, so to the container that is getting created, and this make it easier for us to reference the container later. So in case like if you see here, you can very well kind of see the mongodb. So this is why we are using the name mongodb. And then yeah, again the part of the port, the option maps port 27017 on our host machine to port 27017 in the container. So this is mapping from my machine, which is my machine, which I'm seeing now, to the Docker machine. And this allows us to access the MongoDB on our host machine via localhost 27017. So that's why we are using this option or this command to run this. Like this is again to let me add this comment here. So this is to create and start the container. So what did we do? We have started the command docker run. We gave a name, which is MongoDB, and then the port number, which is from my machine to the Docker machine, and then minus D MongoDB slash MongoDB community server latest specifies the Docker image to use for the container. So in this case, it uses the latest version of MongoDB community server image from the Docker Hub. So that's what this command does. So once we do that, automatically you can see the pull gets completed. And then finally, we did another command, which is, let me bring it up. So this is to bind. Yeah, but yeah, but since the port is already allocated, yeah, we do not need this. So that's all about the first step, which is installing the MongoDB in the Docker. Now the next part, which is installing the MongoDB Compass. So let's now see how to do that. So this is the second part. So let me copy this link for you, and the link here. So what did I do? So I went to this page, and there were like 3 different options. So you can do the MongoDB shell download, which is a quickest way to connect to MongoDB, and you can easily query data, you can configure settings, you can execute other actions. And in fact, we'll see that in our next video, because anyways, we have got the MongoDB installed. So anytime it's going to be just the MongoDB connector. So this is something which you use to interact between your MongoDB and your system. And then I have got this part, MongoDB Compass download GUI. So this is very easy to explore, and you can manipulate the database with Compass. So in fact, it is more intuitive and flexible as well. Okay, I'll show you after this one. And then we have the MongoDB Atlas CLI. So this is the command line mode. So if you are like interested in seeing the black screen, you can use the CLI download, and it's like more of a programmatically way of creating and managing the databases. So I have downloaded this. I have installed. So everything is the same. You just download and just run the file, and you will be able to run the file, uh, install and run the file. So that is all about installing the MongoDB, and then coming to the third part, which is creating the database. Yep, let's go to the MongoDB compass here and how to create a database. So under databases, so okay, before that, let me disconnect and I'll show you. So this is the first step. Go to the connect and just check the URI. So it should be MongoDB colon forward slashes localhost colon 2017 in case if you could not see. Yep, this is the connection, and no other changes were required for now. So in case if you want to do any authentication, you can do authentication to this part. In case if you want to add any SSL TLS connection, which is the client certificate, like providing more security to your databases, yep, you can add that. In fact, we'll see that in our upcoming videos. And then in case if you want to run it via any proxy, if you want to run it via SSH, that's through Learning Linux system, you can choose this option. In case if you want to use any encryption, you can very well choose this. If you guys can see here, you can even use it for the cloud platforms as well, like the AWS, GCP, Azure. And then finally, you have the advanced where you can set up the replica set name for this. So for now, we are not doing anything else. We just go back to the general and click on save and connect, or I can go directly and connect. So once you connect, you can see the performance and the databases. So if you can see, we have got 5 databases. This is the one which I have created, so I'll show you how to create it. And then yes, so we are on the create page. So I'm clicking on this part here, and the database name is like I'll add like demo, and then the collection name is again collection name. I like again like we have 2 names. One is the database name, and the other one is the collection name. So sorry. So in MongoDB, a database is a container for collection. So it is primarily organizational unit, and it provides namespace for data storage. And each database in MongoDB can have its own set of collections, its own sets of indexes and configurations. That's why we do have database name, and then we do have a collection name under. And mainly, I would say about collection. So a collection in MongoDB is an analogous to a table in relational databases. So it's a grouping of MongoDB documents. And a collection, it normally exists within a single database and does not enforce any schema, or it even allows documents within a collection to have different fields. So what does the collection name signify? So collection name signifies the type of documents stored within it. So that is the reason of collection name. So for instance, a user's collection would typically store user related documents. An orders collection would store order related documents, and a ticket related one which stores, yeah. Obviously, the name signifies the type of documents that is being stored. So it helps in organizing data logically and provides context about the types of data stored. So that's all about the container name, so collection name, sorry. So overall, a quick summary about what's a database and what's a collection. So database is a high level container for collections. So it has multiple collections in it, and a high level container for collections. So it is like a high level where it has a container under it, and it provides a namespace for related collections. And what is a collection? So a collection is a grouping of MongoDB documents within a database similar to a table in relational databases. So the collection name provides context about the type of data that is stored within the collection. And finally, I think I'll have to add this point as well. So by organizing your data into databases and collections, MongoDB allows you to structure and manage your data efficiently, while you can maintain the flexibility with specific list documents. So that's the reason you have your database name under it and a collection name under it. And then here, yeah, there are like 3. I mean, I think I have I would say in my experience, I would say this MongoDB is like completely different from other databases, because I have worked in other databases like SQL Server or MySQL or Oracle DB as well. But this is quite different in terms of its approach, because this in terms of collections, the documents. So again, We have these three types of capped collection: use custom collation, cluster collection. Yeah. So these three things I'll tell you real quick, like what is it and why do we need it. So the first part, let me, in fact, I'll click on all these and then I can show you the options of it. So firstly, if you see the capped collection, so this is a fixed size collection. It has mentioned here, it is a fixed size collection that support high throughput operations that insert and retrieve documents based on insertion order. So it like it's mentioned, like it's a fixed size collection that keeps the insertion order. So when it reaches its size limit, so it's mentioned here, so when it reaches its size limit, it automatically removes the oldest documents. So hence it is like greatest for logging, because once it reaches its limit, it automatically starts appending the data. So it's very good for logging, because you do not want to worry about the size, like if it gets more or if it occupies a lot of data. You don't need to worry. You just set a fixed search size, and then that will be the cap of it. The second part is using custom collation. So using custom collation will allow you to specify rules for string comparisons, like case sensitivity and local specific sorting. So you have like multiple options here, like we have local, you have strength, you have case level, case first. In fact, I would like take you through all of these in a separate video on MongoDB, because that's again a huge topic to discuss about. And then finally, we have the clustered collection. So this is a type where it stores documents in the same physical order as the index. So if I can just expand and show you. So this optimizes the range queries on the indexed fields, making data retrieval faster. So that's why we use the clustered collection. But for now, I'm going to just use a very default one. So giving the database name and the collection name and create database. So now we have created the database, which is the step 2. Step 3 is done now. And then for creating data, we have several options to do it. So we can either import JSON or CSV file if we have, or we can insert a document. Uh, we can very well insert a document in this same pattern or in the same template. We can add the data and then we can do it. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a import. I'm going to just import a JSON file and click on select. So this will, okay, again, I would add this stop on errors as well and click on import. So this has imported the data with the ID, the name, email, and age. And this again, yeah, so we have created the data for the databases. So I imported, or I have added the data to the database. So yeah, the step 4 is completed and done. And what's next? The fifth step is downloading the jar files for MongoDB connectivity. So let me take you through those files. I don't want you to guys go everywhere and then try to search for the files. I'll just give you the files directly. I'll upload them in the GitHub, so you can pick it up from there. And so yeah, these are the two files. So one is the Mongo Java driver 380 jar file, and then the second one is the Groovy 244 is the other one. So these are the two files which you need to connect your JMeter to your MongoDB. So without these, you will not be able to connect your MongoDB and your Groovy scripts back to your MongoDB from JMeter. So I'll have to upload this in a GitHub, which I'll do it at the end, and then connect the JMeter with MongoDB. So let me open JMeter for you and going back to the bin. I'm opening my JMeter. So here I have my JMeter with me, and then I'm going to add a thread group. Oh, sorry, I'm going to add a thread group. Under the thread group, I'm going to add a JSR 2 to 3 sampler. So this is not something like MySQL or SQL Server where you can use your JDBC connectivity, because I have even tried that, but since I was not able to get the proper driver, but yeah, in fact I have even got the driver now, so maybe I'll try to connect through the JDBC connector as well, because that will be more helpful than writing all these lengthy scripts. But still, this is option 1. You can try it in case if you do not have anything else working. So let me add the JSR2 to 3 sampler. So yeah, so this is the first thing. So I'll change this name, because this is what we're going to use to connect to MongoDB. And I have the code ready. I'll just explain it to you. So the first part of this, it is importing all the libraries, the MongoDB, the Mongo clients, the Mongo settings, the server address, the cluster settings builder, the Mongo collections, the Mongo database, document, arrays, and everything. And after that, I'm defining the MongoDB connection settings here. So MongoDB connection settings, this is again a basic Ruby script. And I'm setting the builder here, and then I'm applying the cluster settings to the new block, to the new builder, and then I'm overriding my connections with the new connections, which is with the Mongo host and then the Mongo port. Yeah. So one more thing which I have missed, which is connect. Okay, I will add this before this part, which is add user variables. So I'll just show you what to do that. I mean, like how to do that. So since I have come across this, I have just remembered that. So yeah, you have to add your Mongo host as the variable, and then you have to add your Mongo port. And then, yep, you're going to build after that, and then you're going to create the Mongo client with the settings. So any client settings which you have got there, so you're going to create them. So previously you have declared them, and now you're going to build them, and then you're going to replace with your actual database and collection names from JMeter variables. Again, I believe I have given my database name and the collection names in the variables. So I'm going to replace them from there and then access the Mongo database and the collections. So once you have given your database name, so if you see the DB name and the collection name, so you're going to access them, which is you're going to establish the connection from JMeter to the MongoDB, and then you're going to access the Mongo database and collections, and then store the collection object in JMeter variable for future use. And then you're going to return a success message, which is connected to the collection name in the database name. And then in case if it's something do not work, then we'll get the response score 500, which it says that it does not work. So this is a quick summary of the code. In fact, I will upload this in the GitHub so that you can make use of it. And yeah, so the step which is connecting, this is the connect step. So this is done. I have explained it to you, and then adding the user variables. So let's go to the user variables. For that, I'm going to go to the test plan, and I'm going to add 4 variables. So the first one of it is Mongo host. So here I'm going to use only the local host, right? And in case if you are using any other host from any other machine and you have it running it any other machine, then you can use the IP of it. And then the port number is 27017. So don't forget that. So for MongoDB, it's 2017-017. And then we have the database name. So I have already set it up. So which is test. And then the collection name. So I've given the same name for it to avoid any confusion. So it's again test. So now I have set it up. And yeah, so we have set added the user variables. This is done. And then the next step is reading the MongoDB data from JMeter, right? So let me add another JSR223 sampler to it. So add sampler, JSR223 sampler, and it's going to be read MongoDB. And here is the code which I already created for you. Yeah, so what did I do? Again, it's the same importing the libraries and then a try catch where I'm going to define the MongoDB connection settings through the Mongo host and then the Mongo port, which I have declared in the user variables. And then I'm creating a Mongo client with these settings. So this is again same thing which I have created, use the same thing, create Mongo client with the settings. I've used the same thing. And then even this step is also the same, replace with your actual database and your collection names. That step is also again the same thing. And then accessing the database. Yep. So even that is also again the same. So the important part here is you're going to query. So this is how you can write your query. Okay, before that, let me show you how to, okay, I in fact will show you in a separate video on MongoDB. So for now, this is what I'm going to query about. So I'm going to query like if the name is user1, just extract all these details. That's the query is all about. Like if the username is one, like user1, then for example, I can just show you here. So if the user is one, then get all his email, his age, his object ID, everything, right? So that's going to be the query for now. And then the document result is collecting that file and then query the first one. So the query the first data. So that's what we're going to do now. And if the results are null, send a message the document not found with specific criteria. And if it nothing works, I'm sending a catch statement to tell that the server does not work fine. So with an exception statement. So this is very simple. Again, like I told you, I will upload this in the GitHub for you to refer. So this is also done. And then now we'll move to the review results. So for that, I'm going to add a view results tree. Yep, come back. Come on. Thread group, add listener view results tree. I've added the view results tree now. And yep, so this is also done. And then upload the file. Okay, let me change the step numbers here. This is 8, 9, sorry, 10, 11. Yep, upload the file. Okay, we just have to run the view the results, right? So let me clear everything, run the test. Yes. What is going to be the name? MongoDB littles law.jmx. Okay, before that, let me add what is that? MongoDB. Yep, littles law mongodb.jmx. Yes. So now we have sent the request. The response is connected to test collection in databases. And while reading, yes, so I have got, like I told you, the object ID, the name, his email, and then the age. So every data is being queried using this MongoDB. So that is very helpful for you to connect your database, query the results. And yeah, so I've told you, like I've completed all the results. And finally, let me upload the file for you in GitHub. Um, I'm going back to my GitHub, new repo, and Little's Law is the owner, and JMeter, MongoDB, connect MongoDB with JMeter, add a README file, create repository. Yep, so I've created a repository, and then let me upload this file for you. So I'll upload the files. So the first file is, let me upload this file, sorry, and let me go back to the bin and coming to the, where is that, sorry, it is under bin MongoDB, okay, MongoDB. Sorry, I could not find that. C drives and the page for disk 3. Bin. Okay, yeah, it's here. And then, yeah, mongo2.jm, sorry, little slaw mongodb.jmx. So we are going to upload this file. So this is the first file, and this is used to run your test. And then, as I told you, I'll upload the jar files as well. I'm going to the library. I'll select these two files, and I'll upload these files as well. So now we have got the jar files to the repo. And then I do not want to struggle a lot for creating the data. So let me add the data file as well. And that is, yeah, and the last file is here in the user.json. Yeah, user.json. So, yep. So now you have got the JMX file to run the test, and then you have got the jar files. I think there's one of the file which is missing, I believe. So let me go back to the library, select the Groovy. Yeah, so now we have got Groovy file as well. And then finally, the JSON file to create the data. So you have all the script, everything is in this little slaw mongodb.jmx. And then, yep, coming directly to the main branch. Oops, sorry, I don't know what happened. Okay, let me upload it one by one. Yeah, you've got the first file and then the other file, which is, okay, I believe it is because I have opened it here. Let me close it so that you'll get this file without working. And then C drive, patch JMeter, bin, MongoDB, little slaw mongodb.jmx. Yep, commit changes. Yes, you have got the file as well. Again, I'm uploading the other file, which is the jar files, right? Going inside the library folder, date modified. Yep, you got the Mongo file. I think it's quite heavy, so that's the reason it takes a lot of time. Yeah, let me just check its size. Oh no, it looks very small, but I don't know why it's taking a lot of too much of time to upload. So yeah, I'm committing the Mongo jar file, Mongo DB jar file. So I've got the third file as well, and then the last file, which is the groovy.jar, right? So now I've got the groovy 24.4 jar file. Yep. So now you can very well download this JMX, set up your jar files in the library folder, and then you can start doing your testing. Yeah, again, I told you. So since I've created through Docker, so you have to be very careful. So just follow the entire steps in doing it very correctly. So with that, I come to an end, and I believe the last step. Yes, the last step. I told you it's a suspense thing, but it's not too much of suspense. It is please subscribe, join. I'm making it in uppercase. Please do join my channel for getting more quality content like this, and that will help me to motivate to create more quality content. And please do join the WhatsApp channel as well, and join our WhatsApp channel. Share the video. Please don't forget to like the video. I know I've got a lot of appreciations for my previous videos, and I know like people you are like sharing my videos across all other with your friends and those who are in need. So thank you for doing it, and again, please continue doing it, and please do consider joining my channel. Like I told you, it's just 29 rupees per month. It's like less than a price of a coffee per day, per evening. So please do consider joining my channel. It'll help me to motivate me to create more videos like this. And yeah, in our upcoming videos, yeah, that's again, it's going to be another surprising topic, I would say. So in our upcoming videos, we're going to see about what is MongoDB. To learn more about MongoDB, that's very helpful for you. And then we will see about how to connect Jenkins, how to run Jenkins via a Linux machine. And then, yeah, more to come in our upcoming videos. So please do join. Please do watch and connect and communicate with me if you have any queries. So until I meet you in the next video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and your favorite Little Sly YouTube channel. Take care and bye bye.